Hello everyone, it's Amy and I am here to do a supplement video for Build Your Stash and Craft. Ann Duke asked if I could show how to make the flowers that I put on one of the cards in yesterday's video on the watercolored paper that we did. And so I'm here to show you how to make those flowers. There's two ways to make it. This was the right way to make it. And I saw a tutorial on this, but I can't tell you where because it's been quite a long time ago. And the wrong way is like this, but I think that looks really cute too. So when I did half of them this way and the other half this way, and until I went to put it together, I didn't realize that I did half of them wrong. But I did kind of like the looks of this, so I went ahead and did 4 more in each shape and made the 2 flowers. So the first one, which is this one, and that's the one that was on the card, it's very easy. You need a square of paper. Now this is 2 by 2, but you can do it any size you want. That'll depend on what size your flower will be. And all you're going to do is, if you have double-sided paper, decide which side you want to be on the outside of your flower. If you have single-sided paper, then you want to make sure that your colored side, when you're making this flower, you make sure that the colored side is on the outside when you fold this into a triangle. So we're going to just take this square and we're going to just fold it in half into a triangle shape, like that. And then we're going to go and do it again the opposite way into a triangle shape. Then what we're going to do is, this is how we were folding it. We're going to flip our paper over and we are going to fold it in half into a rectangle, and then going the opposite way in half into a rectangle, like that. And what that's going to give you is, that's going to give you, your diagonals will be mounded up and your cross pieces will be pointing down. And so then all you do is you just pull the corners together just like that and turn that into a smaller triangle. Okay, and so then you're going to have, there will be a line in the middle because of the way it was folded. You're going to fold, there's 2 little flaps on each side of our triangle. You're going to fold the top one into the center. And I'm going to need to set this down to do it. Make sure that you get a good crease down there at the point, because you want that point to really come to a point. And you're just going to go right up that center line, just like that. And then you're going to take the other side, and you're going to bring that into the center, making sure you first get that little point, and then bringing it over to center, just like that. And so this is what it, whoops, this is what it looks like now. So we just took each of those sides like that and folded them into the center. Okay, and you're going to need 8 of those. So we'll do that again. I've got 4 more here to do. So first, fold the color of the paper that you want to the outside when you fold a triangle, and then another triangle, just like that. And then we're going to flip our paper over and we're going to fold it in half into a rectangle. And the opposite way too, fold it in half into a rectangle. There we go. And so then when we open it up, push the center up, we've got the triangles are in the mountains and the straight is in a valley. So we're just going to pull those corners together. And this is what we've got. We've got 2 here and 2 here. Push those together. And then we're just going to take this, just one of the sides, and we're going to bring it to that center. Make sure that we get a really good point at the bottom, and then bring it right up the center line there. The other side, take one of the flaps. Make sure you get a good point at the bottom. You don't want them to overlap. You want them to lie right next to each other, just like that. And I'm pretty sure that I folded this one too far over. I did, but we're going to leave it like that for right now. It won't really make that big of a difference. It'll be off a little. Okay, and again, just fold your triangles. And now when I do this, I like to set it on the table because sometimes, okay, there's fold my triangle, and then fold my triangle, and then I have to remember, like, when you flip it over, it's easier for me if I'm doing it on the table to know which way is flipping it over. So then fold it into a rectangle, and fold it into a rectangle, and then when you pick it up, you need your diagonals to be in the mountain shape. You need them to be pointing up, and there you go. And then you just bring your one side into the center, just like that, and then bring the other side into the center. Kind of try and line them up. The better that you line these up, the better that they will be. Okay, so I'm just going to fold the square into a triangle, turn it halfway, and do exactly the same thing again. Fold it into a triangle. Now we're going to flip our paper over, and then we're going to fold it into a rectangle. By doing that, your straight lines go in one direction and your diagonal lines go in another. In other words, the way that they're folded. One's folded up and one's folded down when you look at it. So here we go. We've got our diagonals pointing up. We've got our straight lines pointing down. We just push that into a triangle, and again, just make sure that you get that little point right there, and then bring it right up that line, and do the same thing on the other side, making sure that you get that little point there, and then line those up and bring that up, and that's what we've got. Okay, now I've already done 4. So now that you've got this done, what you're going to do is you've got this is the front. In the back we've got, a little opening here. What we're going to do is we're going to put just a touch of glue in that opening so that the back stays flat, and then the front will still be able to puff up. And you just need the littlest bit of glue back there, and then just push that down. So again, here's our petal. We're just going to look at it, and in the back there's this little pocket back here. Just put a little bit of glue. We'll take this one, and in that pocket we'll put a little bit of glue. That was a lot. And then we've got this one, and in that little back pocket we're going to put a little bit of glue. Okay, and just push those together. There we go. Alrighty, now when you make your flower, you start out with 1, and because I'm right-handed, I do it on the right side. If you're left-handed, you might want to go the other way. It really doesn't matter. All you're going to do is put a little bit of glue on this flap. Take your next one and just slide it in there. Now this point right here is going to wind up lining up behind this point here when you put that in there. Line up your points at the bottom and push that over, and that's going to make those 2 pieces come together. And that seems like a lot or difficult or whatever, but it's really not. You just put a little bit on the right flap here, take your next one and just slide it in, lining up your points at the bottom, and that's going to make those sides line up. Now this is the one that I folded over too far, so I've got a bit of a gap. Not really a big deal. You know, I would normally just line that back up better, but again, line up your points, and you're going to do that all the way around, always on the same side. So if you're doing it on the right, do it on the right. Now I actually have a whole set here put together, but I'm still going to do it just as if that was one on the right side, and I'm going to line those 2 points up together. Now this isn't how you would do it. You would normally just do all 8 together. Okay, but now we've got this last final piece here where I put the last one in, and we're going to put a little dab again on the right side of that one, and then just slide this, which would have been the very first one, slide that into the very last one, and voila, there's your flower. Now go through as soon as you're done and pick up these, the front of the flower petals a little bit, because they may stick to some glue from the back or some glue from the side that you just put in there, and you don't want them to dry that way. So you just kind of want to, you don't want to unfold them, you just want to fluff them up a little bit. So see, these ones got a little bit of glue from the back. It came up on the top side there, so I just kind of go through, fluff them up like that, give the glue some time to dry, and then you can push them down however far you want them. And there we go. That's how you do that flower. And to do the other one, it's exactly the same way, except this time, whatever side paper you want out, you're gonna do that on the outside when you fold your rectangle. So fold a rectangle, turn it over, fold a triangle, and fold a triangle. And there we go. Now when you pick this up, if you push it this way, you've still got your diagonals as a mountain. You don't want that, or you're going to get that first flower. But if you do this way and push the center up, wait a minute, I did that wrong. Okay, this is the diagonals. Turn it over, push it up. Okay, yeah, the diagonals are dented down. The straight lines are mountained up. And so if you just push these two sides together like this, and then just fold it over, now you've got like a diamond shape instead of a triangle shape, or square, however you want to look at it. But this is your open top, and you're going to do it exactly like the other one. You're going to fold one piece into the center, go to the other side and fold one of those pieces into the center, just like that. And now this is what you have. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly so this video doesn't wind up too long. And again, we're just going to fold two triangles, turn it over, fold two rectangles. Okay, and then we want our straight lines to be pointed up. We're going to squish it together, fold it over, and then I am going to fold one of each side there to the center, making sure that I've got a good little point down there. And there we go. There's two. Okay, so we're going to go triangle. The only thing that you want to make sure is that whichever part of your paper you want on the outside, if you're doing the squares, you want that to be on the outside when you're folding your rectangles. If you're doing the triangles, then you want the colored paper on the outside when you're folding your triangle. I hope that that's clear enough. But if you fold it the opposite way, when you go to fold it together, you'll see that it's wrong, and you can just redo your folds and then fold it the right way. Okay, so there's three. I really don't want to run out of time here, so I'm going to do my... And I always just do the triangles first and the rectangle second, just out of habit. So, you know, you can do it however whatever makes you comfortable. And there we go. So now we've got our straight sides pointing up. We're just going to push that together and then fold that into a square or a diamond, however you want to look at it, and then fold into the center, getting a nice point at the bottom and making sure that we come just to the center. We don't want to overlap. And there we go. Okay, and again, just like on the other ones, we've got this back piece back here. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue in there. And it's just enough to hold it back. You know, paper holds really easily, so you really don't need much at all. Get that on the back. And then just push those together. And there we go. Okay, now we're going to pretend that I went 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm going to finish this one off as if we had gone to those 4. And again, I put it on, it's still the same. Put it on the right flap, and then slide this one in so that your points line up at the bottom. Again, on the right flap that sticks out a little bit, slide this one in to line your point up at the bottom. On the right flap, just a little bit. Slide that in, lining your point up at the center, I guess I should say. All right, now again on the right flap, and slide this one in. Okay, so now we're back to the beginning. So again, on the right flap, and then bring that last one in, lining your points up at the center. Again, lift up your petals so that they don't get glued down until it dries, and there we go. There's that shape. So those are the two shapes that you can make with just a simple square. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Thank you, Anne, for the request, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.